Welcome back to another Wednesday live training. Every Wednesday, I go live talking about all things health, wealth, mindset, emotions, relationships, finances, all the things that we feel the pressures of. And when we are not dialing in any of these areas, we see these leaks, we see these gaps show up in our life, and we're just not showing up to being the highest version of us. And if I can help plug some of those holes, then you're going to go out, you're going to be a better leader, a better husband, a better father, a better brother. And that's the whole goal for me, guys. So this week, we're talking about how to build a complaint-free relationship. This is part 3 of a 5-part series. If you missed last week's training, we talked about the 4 stages of a relationship. This is really key because if you don't know where you're at in your relationship, like let's say, for example, you think you're at like stage 3, like you're just crushing it and stage 4 is the best, but you're at stage 3. But then you watch that training and you're like, man, I'm actually like stage 1 according to Joel. Like, wow, I have way more to grow. Well, that's actually a good thing because when you have no awareness or you have no coach or anybody, shining some blind spots there, it's easy to have no compass to navigate where you're actually going to go, right? We also talked about why couples break up. So you want to go find out more about that one. And it's really the number one reason why couples break up, not just in general. Like, this is it. So definitely go back and watch that one so you can make sure you avoid that pitfall. Training number 2, we talked about polarities. This is a massive one. This is one of my favorites, actually, is polarities. I think it's just really neat, the masculine and the feminine. When you start to understand that more, you start to see a lot of the things that your wife or your girlfriend or your fiance, when they annoy you, you actually start to see that as a good thing. You will actually start to see that as them making you more conscious. And that really helped level me up in my own life. So we talked about polarities and why opposites really attract. This week, we're going to talk about men. You need to give your woman what she needs. And don't worry, I know all the guys out there are saying, Joel, no, do that for women. Don't worry, guys. I'm doing that next week, okay? But relax, okay? But check it out. We're the leaders, and so I truly believe in that. And so I'm going to give you what she needs first, and then next week we're going to talk about how a woman can actually meet a guy's needs. And I think it's really important because, again, it takes 2 to tango, as they like to say. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Joel Evan. I'm a coach, best-selling author. I was a former first responder for 15 years. I've been married for 12 years, and I have 2 beautiful kids, 10 and 6. And, of the 15 years in total that I've been with my wife, we faced a lot of challenges. There's many times where the D word was thrown around, and I really didn't think there was a way out. But I figured a way out, and I didn't think it was possible. One more time, my wife challenged me, and I listened to her. Thank God that I did. And I went and I learned and I sought more knowledge, more coaching, more mentorship. And I really listened, I think, this time. Maybe I was just ready to listen. I don't know. But I was able to turn around our marriage in just 3 months. And it's only gotten better and better and better since then. And then I went back and I looked and I said, man, is there a framework for this? Can I help other men? And the reality is there is. And so if you're interested in just learning more about any of our programs, we have a whole bunch of free ones or paid ones, or you just want to connect with me and learn more what it would be like to be a part of those communities, just drop me a line and we'll get you plugged in. Cool? All right, let's talk about this week's training. So how to build a complaint-free relationship. Specifically, what do you give your woman, right? Well, it all starts with feelings, guys. I know you're excited about that one, but here's the deal. When a woman is stressed, right, she actually needs to share her feelings, and it helps bring her back to that female side. Even if a man can't really fully relate to her, it's still going to help her lower her stress, okay? The other thing is the more she's able to share her feelings or her emotions, the more he is going to be able to understand her, the more he's going to be able to connect with her, regardless of whether he can relate. So none of the relating matters. I know a lot of times we think that, I don't care about your stupid problem. It doesn't matter. Guys, listen, get present, subordinate the ego. When you can start doing these things, man, you're going to really connect with your woman in a powerful, powerful way. Now, it's a little different for a guy though, because when a man is not whining or complaining, this actually helps your female partner feel safe and supported. So just be careful because we see a lot of this right when you come home. How was your day, honey? And immediately you go into complaining mode, right? Boss did this, boss did that, stupid jerk this. This is not good. It actually just raises the stress hormone, raises cortisol in your woman, and we don't really want that. And it's a little difficult to navigate, right? Because modern psychology is teaching men they should share their feelings. Share your feelings and be vulnerable. And yes, there is a point, but in this case, it actually weakens a man's access to his male side, especially when it's done in the heat of the moment. Sure, it might feel good, but it's going to push a man farther and farther into his female side. And that only stresses his partner out. And that's going to push her more into her male side. And now you have a fight. Now you have two people just digging in. Now, the solution to the problem is easy. It's just timing, guys. But it's a new challenge, right? So it's all about timing. There's times when you can share. There's times when he can share and she can share. But you got to let her come back to that female side. It's super critical. So if you're overwhelmed, this just means that you're less available to her, especially when she is going to need extra support or help, right? So when she's stressed, you need to realize that. That's not going to be a time for you to also pile on your complaints and your whiningness. You need to give that space to her. Let her return to the female side. The last thing she wants is to feel more stressed. The best way you can do that is silent listening, okay? It is the best solution in this case. It expresses our male side, okay, while sharing feelings expresses her female side. And so here's 3 easy ways that you can start to support your woman when she's talking so that she feels heard and seen. So whenever possible, when a woman is speaking, just look at her and say, tell me more about that. Another thing you could say is, what else? And the last thing you could probably say is, help me understand that better. The more that a man can show interest in what a woman is saying, feeling, liking, wanting, needing, the more supported she's going to feel. And it's often, I think, surprising to men how much more women have to say when they feel it is actually safe to do so and that their partner is interested. And when a man shows interest in what a woman is saying, she feels that he is interested in her, and that is going to release oxytocin. That's going to release estrogen. And these are all good things, by the way, because by showing interest, she feels appreciated more, right? Now, men, of course, we'll talk about it next week. They love appreciation too. But the difference is usually more based on the results that they created. Women, they just want to be appreciated by being seen, heard, her feelings, her challenges, her ups, her downs, her setbacks, her victories, her struggles. She just wants to be seen, guys. She just wants to be heard. That's the key. The second big part of this training that I want to get into is hormones, and it's that little hormone we were talking about earlier, oxytocin. It is probably the most important hormone in helping women lower stress. And it's produced when a woman receives or anticipates receiving the support that she needs to express her female side. Oxytocin is so critical because it increases feelings of love, trust, and attachment. It's going to boost things like sexual arousal and her responsiveness to increase a woman's ability to have an orgasm. Now, when a woman suppresses her female side, her testosterone levels go up, they go way too high. And the other thing that goes up usually is cortisol, her stress hormone. Oxytocin is going to help lower that high testosterone. It's going to allow estrogen to rise. This will support the expression of her female side. And so you're probably wondering, well, how do I increase oxytocin then? Well, one is through hugging, kissing, holding hands, massage, cuddling. Obviously, sex is going to increase that. Orgasms increase oxytocin, right? Let's talk about some of the emotional and maybe social connections that you can do. Just spending time with loved ones, talking with friends, making eye contact, giving compliments, expressing gratitude, helping others, joining social groups. These are why when you go back and you look at all of these things that increase oxytocin, right? That is the power of letting her share her feelings. That's going to give her that oxytocin boost, right? You could also, maybe she just needs a break. You can do that through meditation, yoga, deep breathing, listening to music, dancing, laughing, playing with your pets. These are all things. Another good one actually is nature. Nature's another one. And so maybe your significant other likes to garden or just spend time in nature. That's a great way to boost oxytocin. Okay. Sharing meals would be another one. They've shown studies from writing in journals. And now let's talk about, I think that's a lot that we've covered in the social as well as the emotional component. Let's talk about some of the things that you could do from like a nutrition or physical health. So eating dark chocolate, right? Consuming foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Having regular exercise, that's going to help with oxytocin. Staying hydrated, making sure that you're getting adequate sleep. These are going to be the pillars of increasing oxytocin. You can do other like things if you're looking for like the biohacks, visualization, acupuncture, even hypnosis, some spiritual practices. And another good one would probably be essential oils. So I just gave you a mouthful. You're going to have to go back and look at that. There was probably about 40 different techniques that I went over of how to boost oxytocin. But bottom line is you want oxytocin to remain high. And what I've learned over time is not only remain high, you need oxytocin throughout all the peaks and valleys of a woman's cycle. So a lot of times we might be very good, and I'm guilty of this too, being very good about giving my woman those boosts in energy when her mood is high, probably due to just the fluctuation of her hormones. But then you see normal dips in the cycle. And so as a guy, it's a lot of times like, dude, why are you being so moody? Why is this happening? And we don't support our women. And then oxytocin is going to dip even more and more and more. And she's going to have a more difficult time navigating through the cycle. So the best way to do it is to go back through that list that I gave you. Matter of fact, if you guys want, I want you to comment after watching this and say, Joel, give me the top 40. Give me the top 40 in a guide. Give me the top 40. Just say guide. Give me the top 40. And I'm going to send you guys that. So we're just going to take care of that right now today. So just go back, look at those 40, and then that'll be a really good template or a good rubric of how you can boost oxytocin. So I hope this was a helpful training for you guys. Have an amazing week. If you need anything from me, never hesitate. Reach out, shoot me a comment, shoot me a DM. I'm always happy to level you guys up. Much love.